What's up, everybody? So I thought I'd give you guys a little update on my string gauge experiment. Before we get started, if you guys would, please subscribe to our channel if you haven't done so already. That way you can keep up with all of our shenanigans and cool announcements and shows and whatnots like that. We'd love to have you, so go subscribe, comment, like, do whatever you want to do. We really appreciate it. So let's get to it. About 3 weeks ago, I decided that I was going to go from a 10 gauge string, 10 through 46, up to 11 to 49s. And I posted a video about it and kind of played around for a little bit, and now here's the update. It's been 3 weeks, and I wish I could say that it was an easy transition, but I found the 11s a lot harder to play than I thought I was going to. I could do all the bends. I didn't have a problem bending the string. I didn't have a problem like that. It was much more just being fluid and being able to play naturally without having to really fight the guitar. I didn't like that. I didn't like having to fight my instrument to play. But I forced myself to do it. I played for a week, even though every time I picked up my telly to play, I pretty much threatened myself to put the 10s back on. But I forced myself to do it. I played for a week. I did one show with the 11s after about a week of playing, and I really didn't even notice that I was playing 11 gauge strings at that time. It was just kind of in the back of my mind, but it didn't feel any different when I was playing. But sure enough, the next day after the gig, I decided that I was going to go back to 10s. So I cut the 11s off, pulled out a pack of 10s, put them on, and strangely enough, within about 5 minutes of playing with the 10 gauge strings on, I decided that I had been converted to 11s. So I cut the 10s off, I put the 11s back on my telly, and now here we are 3 weeks later, and I absolutely love it. Falling a little bit out of tune there. You know, some of the things I really like about the 11s over the 10s is that they don't seem to choke out. So I have a pretty heavy attack sometimes. I can really lay into the guitar, and I can kind of have a tendency to really bear down here on the fretboard sometimes. With 10s, I would always choke the strings out, pretty much kill them, where I'd get a lot of buzz and a lot of rattle. With the 11s, I can dig in a lot more and get a lot more out of the instrument, I feel like. You know, it could just be a mind thing and whatnot, but I really feel like I can play harder and it not kill the string immediately just by buzzing and rattling out. Another thing I like too, not only is it louder acoustically, but even through an amplifier, it's a lot louder than it is with the 10 gauge strings. I've also found that on my drive pedal, I use a Lovepedal Tchula, that with using that pedal, I'm able to keep the gain down a little bit more, and I still feel like I have a lot of drive when I'm playing, even though my gain is a lot lower on the pedal than it was with the 10. So I like that too. And it also seems to be a lot clearer. Now, you know, I've never been one to say that string gauge, you know, the bigger string, the better the tone. I've always kind of just assumed that whatever string gauge you like is the best, and I still kind of have that mindset. So I don't think that the bigger string is a better tone or anything like that. I think it comes down to what feels best and what plays most naturally to you. It doesn't matter if you have 13 gauge strings if you can't play them. It's not going to make any difference. So if 9 gauge strings work for you, then play 9s or 7s or 8s or whatever you can find, or 10s or 12s or 11s. With that being said, I'm going to put this guitar down here for a second. This is kind of my number 2 telly right here. It's pretty much just like a Telecaster telly. It still has 10s on it. So let me show you guys here. This video is running a little bit longer than I wanted, but that's alright. It's not super in tune here. I don't know if you guys can hear this on the video with me tuning it or not. Close enough. So here it is, just kind of acoustic. You can probably hear that rattle. And turn the volume up. I don't know if you can hear that rattle either. But it's starting to choke out just a little bit, and I'm really not even laying into it as hard as I normally would. So I'm going to try 12s on this guitar. Just, why not? I went to the store this morning to teach a couple lessons. I saw them sitting there, and I was like, you know what? I'm going to try 12s on this guitar. This guitar has a lot higher frets than the 65 Tele does. So we're going to see what happens. So stay tuned for another update in the future with this guitar and 12s. And if you don't see an update, you'll know that I didn't like them. So anyway, like, comment, subscribe, let us know what you think. Let us know what kind of string gauge you like to use, and we will catch you guys next time.